Hi, everyone. Ranting Blue Penguin again, Tim. Got Nick here from Linners and Wosers, and he's going to tell me everything that we need to know about NOCO. We've got the sixth round of the Jägermeister Cup coming up. Yet another match where we're going up against Northern Colorado, and they've always played us tough, especially when we tend to go down a man. But Nick, thanks for joining us. And what's things doing in NOCO?
Thanks for having me, Tim. Just the usual. I go to work, and then I go to hailstorm games.
Yep.
But
And we
yeah,
we
it's
finally got
been
one.
finally, finally. Yeah, I'm excited. Like you said, all these Omaha hailstorm games are always classics. I think we have like an even record, like clean on the board against each other or something like that. Goal difference, goals for. Very, very interesting.
Yeah, it's always a good time. It's always a good matchup, and we love it when we have a League One team that's got a supporters group, that's got a section that are actually some pretty good people. We can banter at each other and we can yell at each other when the game's going on. Happy to share a beer with you guys afterwards. So, what's it been like supporting NoCo this year from you guys' perspective?
It's been very roller coaster season. As always, since we live in Colorado, we start our season later in the year to avoid the snow. So going seven on the fly on the road is always just a tough ask. And then when you lose the USL League One top goal scorer and player of the year and the defender in year in Arthur and Trevor, so it was tough to adjust. But I think the team is starting to like bounce, find their form. It's been a little rough lately, but especially just in the league. I don't know why the league's been a little more rough than the cup, but with eight places this year, I'm not too worried about the team getting in. We may not get a home playoff game this year, but it's gonna be it's gonna be still good. But yeah, it's been topsy turvy, but I'm enjoying this cup run.
Did you expect to be anywhere close to this successful with the losses you just mentioned?
Um, I thought we would be competitive. I didn't think we were gonna get top three like last season. So I was thinking like when I made my predictions, I'm pretty sure I had NoCo at like fifth or sixth, just based on like the who was joining what teams this year. But yeah, I think we're a little off the pace of what I thought, but I still thought the team was competitive just based on some of the names that we retained.
Yeah, and of course, you've always got Amon, and as long as you got him, you've got a chance, right?
Absolutely. And he just seems to know he seems to have the connections too.
And reigning sexiest manager in League One, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah, from Luke.
Yep. So, and you guys did have a really good run there, and it was good enough that League One Updater had you guys top of their power rankings for a significant amount of time. What do you think was the early season success? What kind of got you guys rolling once you actually got games under your belt?
I think it was about getting some of our lads back into the squad. So for quite a bit of period, we were missing Noah and Real because they were on international duty. So they would just come back, still getting rest, not starting. So just about finding a lineup. I think it was really important putting Bruno on the wing, just to he's just a baller. And then I didn't realize he had such good offensive attributes in this game like that. And it's been a blessing to see Bruno come alive. And then yeah, just also Ethan's been a great addition to the squad. So and then watching him in his first preseason game with the team bagging 4 goals, I was like, wow, this kid's something different. Like, and I think he's come into the league and done pretty well so far.
Yeah. He slowed down a little bit. He's not quite on Liam McKinnon's pace right now or anything else, but he's always been a threat. He's one of those guys, especially in the cup matches, that can give you nightmares right around with him and Bruno. So we know what they can do. What about the rest of the team? What would you say is the style or the identity? You said they found a lineup, but what would you say they're doing now? How are they looking? What are they?
So I think we're a very attacking squad, but with like players are very good in their roles. Like when our midfielders are more, I think, defensive minded. That's why we sort of get outpossessed by quite a like not all the teams, but like when we're facing maybe the tougher competition in the league, we get a little bit outpossessed by their midfield. But I think it's because we really focus on just pace on the wings, pace on the up top, and then pace as our fullbacks, and then just having guys like a great addition to Yamazaki. He's been a great addition. I every time I watch this kid, I'm like, wow, he's got something different to his game, something that the other maybe some of the other players just can't like just don't bring to the table, and it's been great to watch him. So just inputting just more offensive minded and but with players that know their roles to stay back on defense. I think we've struggled a little bit and we don't we Lalo's been great, but he's struggling to get clean sheets because of possibly the four in front of him. I think a little bit of our dip in form as well as Johnny Fenwick has been out injured, so he's been such a great player, and I think he was really key to our us coming back and just he's also our captain, so just him coming back and just we need him back, and him being gone has just been a big difference in these last three games where we've drawn one, lost two.
Yeah, and you did mention that 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 other draw was almost a loss. That was a very iffy match for you guys against the bottom of the table team. What was going through your head during that match until the late equalizer?
I don't know. It was we had such great chances, and it was so frustrating just to watch. Like I was like, where did our and it's been a trend since that game. Has like where did our shooting boots go? It's so going through that match, I was just kind of concerned that maybe are we a little two dimensional going forward with Bruno and Ethan because they were gassed in that game. They were tired. I've never seen them play so tired personally in that Fuego game. That we didn't look like we had any other options though going forward. So it's just I think we need to find a balance going forward. I think hopefully Billy King's back and he's finally getting some minutes and hopefully provide like another option on the wing to ease the pressure off Bruno and Ethan.
So, despite the struggles, has it been an enjoyable brand of soccer to you guys besides the early success and everything else? Is it something that you've enjoyed watching?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this team likes to score goals. Um, I think they have a really good attitude about going into games. And I think it was just a hurdle at the beginning of the season. I still think we're gonna have a fairly good season, and anybody who hosts us in the playoffs, if it ends up going that route, is gonna not want to. So I think it's been really fun, honestly, this year.
So, the playoffs you mentioned, that, you expected that you guys would get in, may not get a home game. What do you think you guys need to do though to pick it up and maybe get into that, one of those top 4 spots, get an initial home game? What's the focus?
I think we possibly need a touch more discipline. I think we're seeing a little bit of a since I keep the stats for the team just on my own time. I've noticed like a trend. Our cards are kind of going up now, so I would just like to see our discipline go a little bit down because that's something that you're going to lose a player that's key to the lineup because he's got five yellows. So just and then Bruno's red, unfortunate, but it's something that killed that game for us. And I think we probably, if you're, I mean, it wasn't like the big all factor, but like we were dominating Knox and we let them right back into the game because of the red. So
Yeah, we initially had a problem with cards too, and it can be ref dependent as well. You can't be playing a play style where you get one of those touchy refs, and all of a sudden you've got 10 yellows in the game between the two teams because you've made a couple of first fouls that the ref deemed to be a tactical foul. Um, what's what do you expect though with Bruno being out? What do you expect to look like?
I think we'll probably see like Noah on the wing with Billy and possibly Ethan back up top, and which I think is was formidable last year with Billy and Noah and Trevor. So and I think Ethan's got enough quality to become someone like Trevor in the future. And I think we're gonna roll out with that with Yamazaki and Lucky Oprah um, at right back. Those they're gonna come up. They're very attack minded players. You'll see Lucky crack a shot from 30 yards out every other game because he's like, why not? Probably Jackson, Dietrich, and Danny Robles in the middle, just because they provide just really good chemistry together, and I think they've earned their starts as the season has gone along. I'm hoping Johnny's back. If not, it'll probably be Breck Evans and kind of blanking on who other center back is right now. Oh, David Garcia, which will be pretty good, but I would like to see Johnny back just because I felt like he was our leader as the season was going along, and just him being out, we've seen a little more stress on the back. Probably Lalo in the, of course, Lalo in the back. He's started every game this season.
So the this being the sixth out of the eight group matches, you guys have a 2 point lead currently on Union Omaha. You're blowing away everybody else in goals. So at this point, even if you drop to second, likely you're going to end up with the wild card there. Do you feel like this is a game that okay, maybe if we don't put out our best 11 or we don't put out our best effort, we can soak it. It's okay.
I don't think that's how the attitude of the players will be, but in like hindsight or like in just like looking over it, it wouldn't be the worst result to even draw at home. To I think a draw would be, I think a loss would be pretty disappointing. That would be three on the fly, versus a draw. I think a draw would be a pretty good result against Omaha. That's how they typically. That's how competitive the games typically are. So I would be all right with a draw, but I think the team, and once I'm there, it's all for the win. So I think Eamon's the kind of guy that doesn't like to let up with lineups. He kind of runs his lineup. He wants to get his system down and then kind of toss in some guys that could fill in duties and stuff. So I think our lineup will be fairly strong.
So what do you expect out of what do you expect to see out of Omaha with Dion Akoff, Marco Milanese? They are questionable. We don't know what their injury status is. They did have to leave the game early in the last match. We do have a new signing. We're not sure if he's going to be ready up or to be in there and to play. But there are still a lot of big names in there, and of course we usually Wallace Lapsley is usually our goalie for that instead of Nuhu. What are you expecting out of Omaha? What do you think they're going to bring in?
I think probably the strongest lineup they possibly can, depending on like those injuries, of course. If they're available and fit and available, I think they'll be in Marco and. But maybe they might look at this as just depending on Omaha's attitude. I think Omaha is probably the Omaha are the cream of the crop of the league. You see it year after year after year after year, and so I don't think they're gonna let up. And they still have strong players besides the ones that are injured. So I think they will play. And it, not saying I'm scared of Omaha. I respect Omaha.
What in that case, to use your verbiage, what do you respect the most? What do you what most concerns you about facing Omaha?
I think you guys have elite goal scorers up top, and really just an overall just a strong lineup mixed in with those goal scorers. It's just hard to beat. You guys don't concede that much, and you guys score a lot, and it's just a good mixture to have of both.
So how do you beat us?
I think it's gonna be we're gonna have to create more chances than we have in the previous games. It's not gonna be enough to try to sneak one in. If you're gonna beat Omaha, it's gonna at least be 2 goals minimum. I think. So I think chance creation's got to be there. I think we're gonna have to see a little more, a little less like just if since Bruno's not in, we have to be less like straightforward. We have to start like maybe a little more build up. It's probably going to be the way to break down this Omaha team without Bruno is probably going to be more crossing the ball, um, waiting for it to bounce around in the box and just chaos. So I think we're going to try to provide chaos in the box with crosses, just tons of crosses and just maybe letting Ethan turn up top. Just creating chaos. That's how I think it's gonna happen.
What's your penalty lineup then? If we end up getting to a draw, what would you make your penalty lineup?
I don't even know. That first shootout I ever watched this to was the worst shootout I've ever seen a team go through. And then the second one they didn't miss at all. So if I had to pick some players that just have that gusto, I'd probably go with I really like like I'd probably sub him in if he's gonna come off the bench. I really like if Parr comes off the bench to take a pen. I
Yeah.
think he's an elite goal scorer if when fit, and sometimes goal scoring just doesn't go away. Fitness does. So I'd probably sub in Parr. I really like the idea of Jackson taking one. I'm pretty sure he took one against the Independents when we went to the shootout. Um, Noah, I like Noah. I think Noah's a confident player. I'm not sure who we're gonna go through, but I'm liking I like players that are typically more lean toward scoring goals that have the confidence like that. So Ethan, if he's in the game, who knows by like 90th minute, like subs and he might be giving it his all. But Ethan, probably Markey. Markey seems like a player that would love to step up.
What what do you really think about the Jaeger so far?
I've really enjoyed it. Honestly, I was a little skeptical at first. I do want it to be opened up to more of the USL. I think this landscape could definitely have more. It could definitely coexist more, the League One and the Championship. But I think it's been fun. I was a hater at first, but honestly, I'm enjoying the penalty shootouts after the games. It's just an extra reason to be at the game. Um, I the goals rule's fun, maybe because my team's scoring a ton of goals,
Of
so
course.
I'm enjoying. I was looking at it. I was looking at it. I was like, huh. It looks like two teams out of. I mean, with respect to Lexington, it
Hmm.
looks like two teams might be coming out of the West just because you guys are also putting a lot of the teams like cruising past a lot of the teams in these goals. And with our points, us being top two, it just seems like we both might go through. It's who wants to probably host a playoff.
Yeah.
So
What would you do?
I'm liking it.
What would you do to improve it?
As a guy who likes to drink at the games, I think they should do something fun like Jaeger
Yeah.
bombs or Jaeger shots for people, or just like sell like really make like a hype for that. Just that'd be fun. Um, to improve it, I'm not sure. I think expanding it to the championship is probably the only way to improve it because you're just playing the same teams from the League One. It can get a little more. It can get a little dull.
Yeah.
The games are still good, but expanding it's probably like the only way to go.
Do you continue to see it as a group stage type thing? Do you want to see it more FA Cup and just knockout style, or like home and home double leg?
Yeah, I like the idea of like if we don't get full championship participation, maybe the bottom five teams of each conference come down and play Jägermeister Cup with us, and then it could be it could be probably like make a bracket knockout round, more like that. Just so because the group with the new balance schedule, like Westchester, Texoma, all these teams coming in, it's gonna there's gonna be too many games probably to have a group stage again. But I would love to keep it around. It's a good sponsor. If the rumors of like the prize money were correct, then it's a good amount of money for a USL League One club to win. And if you bring down 10 championship teams that aren't the best, we're gonna have some competitive games. It could be really fun.
Yeah, and that's something else that got brought up is, the prize money. Someone was asking why you would prioritize one over the other, and the prize money is obviously there. Do you feel like there have been teams that have prioritized the cup over the league? Do you think that there's some teams that have just, no, or has it been, hey, we're going to put out our best 11 the whole time?
I'm not sure on most teams. I know Hailstorm specifically, it's been best 11 the whole time. Um, I find it odd that you'll see like Hailstorm's maybe we're ninth right now, not terrible, but toward the bottom of the table, you'll see Lexington at toward the bottom of the table, and you'll really see them taking the cup by the horns.
Mhm.
So it's very interesting to see, though. I'm not quite sure, but I think some teams are probably seeing man, Lexington's having a horrible season. They're probably seeing this. This is a chance at a trophy. So,
So, who's your final four for the cup then?
I think Lexington will squeak by still. I think they're gonna ride some good form. I think Madison's gonna find a dip in form soon. I think it's gonna be us two out of the West, Omaha and NoCo. I don't think Spokane will end up coming back, or and I actually don't know who's leading the cent or who's leading the East.
So the first group, Greenville, is leading them right now.
Okay. Oh yeah, Green.
And
And I saw it.
actually, let me do this real quick. So we got the standings right here. If you want to take a look at them, there we go. There's the standings.
Oh, perfect.
So yeah, we got this right there, and you can see the cup form.
Yeah, I think Greenville will probably go by. I gotta peep Lexington's schedule remaining. If they got depending on the game against Knox, they seem to have something that they struggle versus Knox, their rivals. So I'd be interested because maybe I think that Knox could definitely squeak by them. I'm really interested in seeing um two losses for Madison in the Cup. I'm curious. I'm gonna have to research a little more. I'm gonna see their lineups and see if they have changed a little bit. Cup versus league because they look super strong in league. I know you know that because
Oh yeah.
they're pushing you guys or you're pushing them and Greenville's that you guys are pushing each other to the brink. It feels like last season.
Yeah, and when I talked to Rob at Talking Clock a couple of weeks ago, it was the draws are what are holding them back, and you can get an extra point for that in the cup. You can't do that in the league. So in the cup, that would be fine for them, but those drop points is what's keeping them down into third place right now because you just come off your first loss to Richmond in a kind of an emotional Henny derby, and and that's kind of where they're going, I think. Um, but speaking of rivalries there, what, uh, what do you consider NOCO's rival? Who do you right now consider I know the league tried to do the fire and ice thing, with you and Fuego, but it seems like you kinda own that one. Most people own it against, Fuego right now, but who do you and who do the fans really see as your rival within the league?
Within the league, on the field, it's definitely it's Omaha. We we just have we have too many topsy turvy games versus the other clubs, where I feel like every game against us, it's been great. You've seen bicycle kicks, you've seen Open Cup Classic. Just it's been a great rivalry, and it's been a fun rivalry though. Not the bitterness, the banter's there, but it's been a healthy rivalry, and I think just on the field rivalry is how things start. And I just don't see another team in the league personally that just like on the field that we seem to not like each other, and no other games are like as competitive as Omaha. So I think Omaha is our biggest rival on the field.
We appreciate that, and we like the fact that you guys are, within an 8-hour drive of us, catch a train, go for a nice little weekend to Colorado, good little escape. Eventually, I gotta get up to Windsor and actually come by and say hi and take in a match up there, once the day job lets me go do it.
Yeah, same here. I made the Tulsa trip. I got to Omaha's closer, so I can make that one too. That would be fun.
Yeah, and then you gotta come back when we get our new stadium so you can enjoy the
Absolutely.
new stadium. Uh They,
You guys deserve
finally,
that.
finally got the developer today, and they've given the design award and everything else like that, so it's actually moving. Um, what do you guys got as any future plans on the stadium route? What's any updates?
Not too many. It's honestly been kind of crickets on the stadium. Um, just news. I've heard it's going to be done, but every time I'm there, you can just tell when construction and stuff. So it's like, what's being worked on. So I think they've probably hit a bump in the road, and it's probably going to take longer and longer. I just hope we can get it off because it's going to be like important to our survival as a club. So I just nothing so far.
And I think of the clubs that deserve the good things. I put you guys in as one of them. As soon as you came into the league, you really stepped in. You didn't necessarily have the great success the first year, but then you had really good success last year, and you've really started to own that team and really started to get into the feel of League One to the point where I can't imagine the league without you guys, at this point. So we definitely want good things for you guys. We want to see the stadium. We want to see the fans grow. And yeah, and that you guys are really good rivals, and we appreciate. having you guys in here. Yeah, you got any score predictions for me for the weekend though?
Let me actually throw this in real quick. When I
Oh
did
yeah,
get they did give me a season discount, and I think they were talking that, so they gave everyone like 50% off, I think, their season tickets because we weren't playing in the actual stadium like everyone anticipated,
right.
which was really cool by the club to do. Um, it's either you got 50% back. That money goes toward next season's deposit, or you can choose to go merch or food. It was your choice. I chose next
Yeah,
season's deposit because I'm like, I'm gonna buy it anyway. So
yeah,
let's already get in there. And in that email and such, they did assure people that next season will be in the stadium. But I still want to see more progress. Like I go there, I see it. I even work by it with my job, and
yeah,
I see it. I'm just like, come on, let's see something.
yeah. It's like it's teasing you right out the window. You can see it, you can taste it, but it's not real yet.
Yep,
Um, So, and like I said, we want to see that for you guys. We want to see that that stadium, and we think a new home and a permanent home and everything else. And I can't wait to hear the supporters cheering in that stadium when you can make it your own.
exactly. I think there will be good news to come still.
Well, we will hold out, but you're not going to escape the score prediction. Uh, where do you think this one ends?
I think it's gonna end probably. I want to say similar fashion to the first game, but we're gonna win in the shootout this time.
Okay,
That's
so looking
probably
somewhere in
1-1.
that 2-2 draw, 1-1,
I'm gonna go
1-1 draw.
1-1 this time.
Given the uncertainty, I would accept a 1-1. Given what we've got going on in the back line, what we've got with the potential new moves and the players and everything else, and us being far enough ahead, I know Dom's going to want to go in, and he's going to want his at least 2-1, 3-1, something in there. But a 1-1 seems right, especially since Bruno Rendon's not going to be there to put like three of them in on us. But
Exactly. Yeah.
well, Nick, I want to thank you very much for taking the time coming on, telling us what to expect out of NOCO. Where can we normally find you guys?
Find us normally on just at Linners and Wosers, at Linners Wosers on Twitter. We haven't been as active on YouTube and podcasts recently, just because work's been slamming us. Preparing to get married in
Oh,
uh,
congrats!
August. So yeah, Rico's big plans. We're going to Italy for that, so that'll be fun.
Oh, you
And
taking a couple of matches while you're there.
that's the plan. Our girlfriends, well, fiance, my girlfriend won't like it, but we're gonna do it. So
I mean, when you're there, you've got to, right?
you have to. And so we've just been really busy, but we're still trying to be as active on Twitter though. Twitter's where we'll all be at. We have all the outlets still pumping. It's kind of slow season for some of our European ones because they're out of league. We're no Fabrizios. We don't know who's joining the teams.
Yep, not yet. Well, absolutely. At Linners and Woosers, and any of those outlets up there on X, Twitter, and Nick, always great to talk to you. And let's go Liverpool. Let's
Yes,
get in
sir.
there.
Thank you,
All right,
Tim.
buddy. Thanks much, and not too much luck Friday night, but good luck.
Good luck to you, but not so much luck.
Fair enough. Thanks, man.